Okay, so we're gonna ignore the kind of bit of a mess in the background. It's nothing terrible, but we're just gonna ignore that. Okay? Got busy. Life happens. 3 children. But anyway, and also don't mind my husband's Discord dinging on his computer back there. Hopefully that's not too annoying. But anyway, let's not waste too much time and let's just jump into the topic of today's video. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, Luigi's Mansion 2, even though it doesn't say that, HD for the Switch. Let's jump into the story. So obviously this is just an HD remake of the original that came out on the 3DS, so if you know the story with that, it's not different. But if you don't know the story, this is after the first Luigi's Mansion game. Professor Egad is studying all the ghosts in this valley where they're all friendly because there's the dark moon crystal thing in the sky, and he's studying them. But something, we don't know what, comes along, breaks apart the dark moon, and all the ghosts turn evil. So he basically forces Luigi to help him, whether Luigi wants to or not. The poor guy, he just cannot catch a break. But that's basically the story is, of course, even though Egad's the one who wants all the information on the ghost, he's gonna make you go in and figure out what's going on and fix the dark moon. So anyway, let's get on to the gameplay. Okay, so the gameplay, it's the exact same as Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon on the 3DS, of course, and it does have the same, of course, like basic controls and a lot of that stuff from the first Luigi's Mansion game, but it builds upon it. For instance, instead of all the cash you are collecting going towards the mansion you get at the end of the game like the original on the GameCube, what this does is it goes to upgrading the features on your Poltergust 3000. Like, for instance, you're able to get a longer, I don't know what it's called, but like the rainbow effect to make things appear. You get that longer. How the combat works now is when you're capturing a ghost, a bar will appear, as you can see in some of the gameplay that I'm showing now, and you can then, if once it hits a bar, do a bit of a like stronger tug attack, I guess, thing on it is the best way to describe it. And you can of course make that stronger as it goes. So just like in the original game, it is very, very worth your time to explore every nook and cranny. And even exploring everywhere in the game doesn't make it take that much longer. And I mean, maybe someone would find it tedious, but honestly, I didn't really find it tedious or annoying. I never found it tedious and everything exploring in either the GameCube or the 3DS version, or even, I know we're not talking about it obviously, but Luigi's Mansion 3 or in this one, because they never make it too overwhelming. Like, obviously there's a lot of stuff to find, but they never make it overly ridiculous and like a giant area that you feel like you're never gonna explore. So it's definitely worth it to explore and get those upgrades for that money. And speaking of some of the features I was talking about, you do get the boos will now make things disappear using their little special power. So you have to hold down the Y button to reveal it and then suck up the little boo balls, I guess. I don't know what else to call them. And then, of course, you still have the same flashlight stun. You can blow things, because sometimes for some puzzles, you have to suck things up, so you gotta, like, pick it up. So obviously you have to have a way to get rid of it. There are a lot more new enemy types that, instead of it really just being, you know, the elemental types like in the first game, or just the bosses having a unique mechanic, there are several even just low-level ghosts who can like have a different mechanic. Like the greenies, you've got some of them who they have the shades, you have to suck off their sunglasses, or they hold a shovel, so you have to wait until they're trying to attack you in order to flash them with the flashlight. And I'm obviously not going to go over every single one, But there is a bunch of little ghosts like that. There is also a feature of if you're I believe it's if you collect enough treasure, you can find a golden bone. It's either if you collect enough treasure or if you just look in the right spot. And that golden bone, if you don't end up using it, it will count towards like I believe some of your cash value at the end. But what it does is it is basically like an extra life, because you don't normally get one in these games. So it acts as if you die, it will bring out the polterpup and make you spawn right where you left off. So it's basically like a free restart, which always very good to have that. Graphics wise, game looks great. It's on par basically with Luigi's Mansion 3 at this point, because it obviously very much updated from the 3DS of Luigi's Mansion graphic level, and of course even the GameCube. But anyway, let us move on to my thoughts and opinions. Okay, so honestly, like, my thoughts and opinions are going to be a little... I don't know how I'd put it, but... So, okay, let's just get down to the basis of recommending this game. I would really only recommend this game if you are either a big Luigi's Mansion fan like I am, and I would say specifically Luigi's Mansion, not just General Mario, or if you actually don't have it on the 3DS, because, and I haven't fully beat the game, but I've gone through half, a little over half, and there is, unless I'm just completely not remembering something, which I don't think I am, there's no differences. The only difference is an obvious graphical update, because it's no longer on the old system like the 3DS, it's now on the Switch. So you can play it on the TV if you want, or handheld mode, but honestly, it's really not worth getting if you already have the 3DS version and you're like, yeah, I liked it, but you know, not my favorite game. Or you're just not a big Luigi's Mansion fan in general. Because I do have Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon still on my 3DS. Like, I never got rid of that. I don't plan on getting rid of it. And I just really, as a person who loves horror nowadays, I really still love the Luigi's Mansion, even though it's obviously not actually horror, not actually scary, because it is a horror game, you know, literally made for kids. Like, I was playing this game back when I absolutely hated horror stuff and was actually legitimately scared of all of it and couldn't handle it. It was, you could almost say, like a gateway game in a way into that. Like, it introduced me to kind of the concept and the ideas and some of the themes of like a scary game in a way that I could play it, because I was a little baby. Even now, I'm not gonna lie, even now I'm kind of a little baby when it does come to horror games. Like, I do love playing them and watching them, but when it is me playing them, oh my gosh, it's so stressful. I'll admit it, I'm a little baby. I'm a little baby about it, but yeah, those... Like I said, it's not at all an inherently bad game. It's still a perfectly good game. Still love everything about it. All, you know, the new mechanics they introduced are fun to use. It plays great on the Switch. I played it in both handheld and on the TV, and it ran great on both. Like, I had no issues there. It's honestly a good game. I'm just saying it's not worth it to get the remake unless you either don't have the 3DS version, or like if you didn't absolutely love the game. Like, you're not a huge, I'm so into the Luigi's Mansion, because I still have Luigi's Mansion on the GameCube. I've got, you know, my 3DS version of Dark Moon, and then of course I have the newest one, Luigi's Mansion 3, and then we finally got this HD remake. But honestly, like I said, it is still a really fun game. So if you like the game, get it. Because as I said, it plays well. It's kind of cool to be able to, you know, have the Luigi's Mansion where you can now play that Dark Moon You can play it on the TV and everything. And it is definitely nice to have the little, you know, kind of crisper graphics, if you will. So it just looks a little nicer. But yeah, honestly, I really enjoyed this game. With all that said, I am gonna give it, we'll say like a 7 out of 10. And not because the game is bad, but just like I said, it kind of feels pointless for them to have made this remake because it didn't really add anything. I don't know. But to be fair, also, I at least personally don't know where they would make like another like Luigi's Mansion 4. I don't know where they would take it. I wouldn't at all be upset if they did make another completely new Luigi's Mansion game, don't get me wrong. I just, you know, to be fair, I don't know where they would take it. So I'm not gonna really judge them too harshly on the fact that they just did the HD remake. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and leave a like, leave your comment down below, maybe what your favorite Luigi's Mansion is, whether it's the original, 3, or maybe you prefer Dark Moon on the 3DS. I don't know. If you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I upload every Friday. As long as I'm not getting too tired, but that's been kind of happening lately, where I've been maybe clocking to bed a little early. I do stream on Twitch every Monday through Thursday about 8:30 p.m. Central Time. Twitter, Instagram, second channel whenever I get around to reusing that second channel again. I'll link down below, same with my Twitch. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!